There is a supernatural world that surrounds us, and sometimes it manifests to people like you and me. You'll hear stories about this and so much more right here on Supernatural Confrontations. I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli, coming from an undisclosed location somewhere deep in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains. Where have we heard that before? And I think you'll find this encounter really chilling, and it kind of blew me away. But we'll get into that and so much more. But first, a word from our trusted sponsor. Before trying anti-aging serums or wrinkle creams, check if you're getting enough collagen first. Collagen is a protein that plays a crucial role in maintaining the health and elasticity of our skin. Without it, we may notice visible signs of aging, like fine lines and wrinkles. While collagen production naturally declines as we age, certain collagen supplements can help bring back a youthful glow like you wouldn't believe. This is why I highly recommend taking collagen. Collagen is specially formulated to enhance skin elasticity and hydration. It's made with the top 5 most powerful types of collagen that are essential for skin health, elasticity, and firmness. Folks, with only 10 grams of bioactive collagen peptides per serving, collagen is designed to make it easy to boost your collagen levels to support healthier skin. Try it today and receive 53% off, free shipping, free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life. What a great deal. And also a free new e-report titled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin, and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So folks, if you don't see it working, they'll give you your money back. Plus, you'll also help feed a hungry child, families and communities in need of healthier lives with your order through BioTrust partnership with NoKidsHungry.org. What a great company. Check it out today. Go to healthwithla.com, healthwithla.com. Before I get into the show, it's with great sadness that I heard about the passing of my friend, Scott Carpenter. I've never met Scott face to face, but he was on the show at least 3 or 4 times, and we would converse at least once a month. So he's sorely missed. From what I understand, his son, Travis, emailed me, and he was at dinner with his girlfriend, and he finished dinner, and he stood up, and he felt something weird in his eye, and he got dizzy. He had pain on his left arm or whatever, and he then vomited and passed out. When the paramedics came, he was unresponsive, and by the time they got him to the hospital, he was gone. So it was a brain aneurysm, apparently, at the base of the skull. Folks, life is fragile. You know, just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, Scott and I were conversing via Zoom. Now he's gone. Just like Russ Dizdar and Shelley Dizdar and Rob Skiba, Doug Riggs, to just name a few. My cousin Bobby, who passed away. It's just, life is fragile, and we don't know how long we have here. Pray for Scott's family, his children, and he is sorely missed already. Anyway, folks, this supernatural event that you're about to see is something in some ways like right out of The Exorcist, because, and I'm not going to give away the farm here, but as you'll hear the back and forth between us, and it's very disturbing. So here's the clip. Janet, thanks so much for coming on the record. So you're a nurse, and you saw something in a hospital. Tell us the story, please.
In the late 80s, I was a nurse at a head injury rehab unit, and there was a 7-year-old girl on the unit, and she would have these attacks, and it was our job to try and hold her down when these attacks would happen.
Now, let me stop you there. When you say attacks, what do you mean attacks?
But she would start flying off the bed and be slammed back down, fly back up, slam back down. So we were trying to hold her down.
Okay, so when you say fly back up, She's not doing this on her own power?
No,
Okay,
no.
so describe what that looks like, please.
Okay, so I would usually be at the head of, at her head, like at her shoulder, trying to hold her shoulder down. There'd be probably a good 10 of us, but
10 people?
yeah, 10 young adults trying to hold a 7-year-old girl down, and we couldn't. So I would be at her shoulder, and then the next thing I know, she's up in the air. Like, she's not touching the bed. Her arms are out, her legs are out. We can't hold her down. She's not touching anything. They're telling us it's a seizure. But
Not a seizure.
not a seizure. So, yeah,
Was
I'm
she
trying to hold her down. And
levitating?
yes.
So she's
Yes.
levitating off the bed?
Yes. I'm trying to hold her down, but I'm looking at her up there. So I'm trying to hold her down on the bed, but she's up there. Yeah, I couldn't hold her down.
So what would happen next?
Eventually the attacks would stop, and then we'd all regroup. So that kept happening, and then one time I went into the room on my own, and the room was full of crucifixes, and I picked up one of them and was like, what are these doing in here? And the little girl said, help me. And I,
In a deep voice.
yes,
So you're basically living what the Exorcist film.
yes, I got mad. I didn't know anything about any of this, but
Right.
when I heard her say, help me, I didn't help her. I put the cross down, I'm like, who let this little girl watch The Exorcist? And I left the room. So, and then eventually she wasn't on the unit anymore, and they told us that she'd gone to see a priest that took care of the problem. I don't know if that's true, but
Well,
that's what I was told.
and what happened to you?
Okay, in my 30s, I was staying at my mom's, who lived in Wisconsin, in the winter, and in the middle of, I had spoke ill of a deceased person during the day, sort of like mocked him to my mom, and she had hurt him when he was alive. But in the middle of the night, I felt this cold wind come in, and I thought, wow, someone must have broke in. So I'm listening to find out who broke in, and I couldn't hear any sounds, so I'm thinking, well, maybe family went outside because there must be a door or a window open. And then I see 3 black shadows bopping down the hallway. They weren't even the same height. It was popping. It would be like if you put a black cloak over the scrubbing bubbles.
Okay.
So they're
all right.
just bopping down the hallway. I think they're fascinating. And just as they were about to go past the door to my room, I was like disappointed because I wasn't going to be able to see them anymore. And one looked at me. It had yellow glowing eyes. And it zipped in. And when it zipped in, I couldn't see it anymore. And so I was looking around the room for it. Then I heard, and it was my sheet was pulled down at like a 45-degree angle. And then I was picked up, like somebody had grabbed me from here, so I was picked up to like a 45-degree angle, and I thought, wow, is there a fire? Am I being rescued? But I don't see anybody. Then the next thing, I feel cold wind on my face, and I see the ceiling rapidly approaching my face. But I realize the ceiling's not moving. I am.
Right.
So, so I was levitated toward the ceiling. The next thing I know, I'm looking toward like the curtains, and my hands, everything's stiff against my body. My lips are pulled back and my teeth are clenched. As I had gone up, once I realized that the ceiling wasn't moving, that it was me, I let out what should have been an ear-piercing scream, but all I heard was like a "guh." And so then I was trying.
Let me stop you right
Sorry.
there. You're not in control of your body at all. You can't even vocalize at this point.
Right.
Is that a fair statement?
Right.
So, and you're being levitated off the bed.
Right.
And so when you're being levitated, so I'm assuming you come up this way, and now they bring you up, so you're facing. So now you're in an upright position.
Yes.
But you're levitating.
Right.
So we all know that that's humanly impossible.
Right.
Pick up the story.
Okay, so yeah, I'm picked up. I'm looking at the curtains, and I can move my eyes down, to look down, and I'm thinking, well, I must be standing on a stepladder. You know, like I wasn't grasping this real well.
Let me stop you right there, because this is what we hear all the time with people who have encounters like this. We're always trying to grapple with the supernatural because it's never happened, and we're trying to figure out a rational explanation for why am I levitating, why am I 5 feet off the ground, or where's the step ladder? Because that's your rational brain kicking in, going like, surely I must be on a step ladder, but you're not on a step ladder. Pick up the story,
Right. Please. Yeah, so I think I'm like, there must be a step ladder. I tried to kick my feet are not moving.
Wow.
There was no step
So
ladder.
you're totally paralyzed.
Yeah, except for I could move my eyes.
Move your eyes,
I could
right.
breathe, and I was still myself. It wasn't like something else
Right.
was inhabiting me,
Okay.
and I'm grateful nothing was speaking through me.
Right.
But so I couldn't speak, I couldn't move. I had been trained in like self-defense, and I was trying to figure out what resources I had, but I realized I couldn't move, I couldn't touch the ground, I couldn't call out for help. I thought, my mom's in the room next door, and right as I thought that, I heard "Gk," which was the same noise that I had made when I was attacked. And
okay.
see, my mom and her husband were in the other room, so I'm thinking with the 3 demons, the other 2 might have gotten my mom and her husband. But so at that point, once I realized that I was completely helpless, it let me go. And I fell back to the bed and went looking for the warm spot in the sheets, and they were cold. The pillow was cold, both sheets were cold, as if I'd never been in the bed.
Wow.
And I didn't talk about it. I didn't bring it up to my mom, no. I didn't talk about that for years. So that is it.
And then you were not a Christian at this time.
No,
correct?
I didn't. I had no idea that I should have been calling on Jesus. I
Right.
didn't know Jesus was God.
Right.
I didn't know anything about
Wow.
that. So
Let me circle back to the little girl. So 10 people are trying to hold this kid down. She weighs, 70 pounds, 60, 70 pounds. And when they're doing that, is she ever speaking in an unknown language, or just gurgling, or shouting out, cursing, swearing, anything like that?
No, I
She's-
didn't hear her. No.
She's just there,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden she's levitating above the bed.
Right.
So-
She's being slammed back down.
And slammed back
It's
down.
just up and down, up and down, up and down. So, yeah.
I needed a prop for this, so let's pretend this is the little girl. She's laying
Okay.
down, all right, and you've got her. I'm going to throw them up this way to the camera. So
Okay.
you're trying to hold her down here.
Right,
You're
I was
up
over
here.
on this corner,
Right, okay.
yeah.
So we'll pretend you're over in this corner
Okay,
now.
I'm in this
So
corner.
you're holding her down, and there's 10 people totally.
At
So
least,
so
yeah.
there's no way,
Young adults. Yeah.
okay, no way that she's going to get up. In fact, 2
Right.
probably could hold her down very easily, but there's 10, and so what we see is she does this. You let go, and then
Right.
she's up in
And
the air.
I'm like trying,
How long
I'm
is
still
she up
trying.
in the air for?
Maybe just a second or 2, and then slam back
But
down.
but she's up in the air,
Right,
and she's levitating.
right.
So it's like this, it's like up, and then
bam,
boom!
and then up, and then bam.
Wow.
Yeah, over and over again.
That is unbelievable, over and over again.
Yeah.
And no one can stop it.
No,
Is
we were
anyone calling out?
exhausted.
Wow.
We'd wrap that up, and at the end of that, like,
Did
we
anybody
were
talk
a
about
young, strong team.
Right.
No, we
No one
didn't.
talked about it.
But somehow our room filled up with crucifixes. Yeah.
And no one knows where the crucifixes came from?
Oh, I don't know who brought them in.
How many, when you
but-
say filled up?
Oh, there were probably 15, like all the counter surfaces were,
Were crosses?
people were bringing in crosses.
Wow.
So somebody knew.
Somebody knew.
knew there was something wrong.
Yeah, but they didn't know. What year is this?
About 87.
Okay. Whew. Well, thank you for
Well,
coming
thank
on the
you.
record. That's incredible. Folks, the supernatural world really is real, and it does manifest, both good. We heard from Marlon the story of the little old man who comes up and gives them a tract, a little typewritten message which changed his life. That's a positive story. It's a wonderful story. It's a story which makes me smile, and that's the story I want to think about when I go to sleep at night. This story, not so much, but it's real. And what we see is that there are angelic encounters, and there are also demonic encounters. This poor little girl, something opened her up to it, and 10 kids, 10 young adults, not kids, but 10 young adults can't hold her down. The supernatural world is real. There's no doubt about it. And sometimes it does manifest to folks like you and me. This Friday, August 18th, coming up, I should say, Friday, August 18th, and Saturday, I'll be speaking at Walk on Water Church. There it is right there, walkonthewater.org, walkonthewater.org. Hats off to our good friends in Ohio. It was great to see Mike Spalding and some of the people up there. Always wonderful. Lots of great presentations. You'll want to check that out. But I'll be on walkonthewater.org, Walk on Water Church, Wow Faith Church, Friday, August 18th. And folks, I'm not repeating anything. These are all different presentations. Friday night is the primer. We set the stage for where we're going to go with sessions 2, 3, and 4. By the way, the counter mutilation film, hopefully we'll have it finished and handed off to Doug Diamond this week and then off to the duplicator. We still have the pre-sale. You know, folks, this is the darkest film I've ever worked on. And a shocking phenomena executed with surgical precision. That's the subtitle. And it's dark, but what we're doing is we're exposing the deception of the prince of the power of the air. This is the calling card of darkness, in my opinion. So we'll get into that. By the way, further evidence, Close Encounters, we are reprinting that book. So much information because the whole UFO phenomenon is burgeoning. And you'll want to check that out too. LAMarzulli.net, LAMarzulli.net. The 5 DVD box set is available. I know LA has a lot of commercials on the end, but if you don't know about it, then you won't buy it. And we admonish you to buy these materials. Why? Because they will give you the knowledge that you need to understand what is going on in this crazy world. Because we live in a supernatural world, and sometimes it manifests to people like you and me. Thanks so much for watching.